Welcome back to match 3. This is Old Man Poole. We've won the dice roll. And this is a very keepable hand. We've got Raptor Hatchling turn 2, or Ixalan's Keeper turn 2, and then turn 3 Shapers of Nature and Hunt the Weak. Looks pretty good to me. Probably about as good a hand as you can hope for, honestly. I wonder if we shouldn't have been playing the Shapers of Natures over the last couple of turns. I think we're going to play Ixalan's Keeper here over Raptor Hatchling. It's a little bit better attacker if we have that opportunity. Shapers of Nature maybe was just a slow sort of value card in a matchup where we really need to be as fast as possible. And we did have this strand in our hand at least once. Like if this had been the 3-2 or the 4-2 last game, that we could have played immediately without the Woodland Stream, we'd have been a lot better off. That's true. Maybe that was more of a liability than I had given credit. Alright. Baffling End. Rest in peace, Ixalan's Keeper. Hardly knew ya. Opponent's going to be sad in a second unless he has more removal, since we get to play a much better card in Shapers of Nature. It's possible, one of the reasons you would do a play like that, though, is if you just have multiple removal spells and not a whole lot of creatures in hand. So it's possible this gets Baffling Ended as well. Forerunner of the Legion. Alright. Obviously a pretty good card. He has to get his best vampire, which, with any luck, we'd find a land and could hunt the weak it, maybe? Vampires aren't generally super big creatures. Legion Lieutenant. That's a good one. This is +1/+1, right? Okay, another land is solid. So we'll play Raptor Hatchling, keep up Aggressive Urge, I guess. Not going to hunt the weak on the Forerunner. Much rather get rid of the Lieutenant. And we do not have a ton of combat tricks to go around. Or removal spells. Don't have a ton of combat tricks either, but... Play Raptor Hatchling. And we'll chump block the Forerunner when it comes in. Voracious Vampire. Alright. That's pretty good too. So he gets to swing for solid 4 damage here, and we can't block it. Well, we'll take our medicine here. Not much we can do about it just yet. If we find a land, we can Overgrown Armasaur. I think we still do want to sit on Hunt the Weak. If we find a creature, hopefully we can play it. I guess, do we want to swing with the Raptor Hatchling? Nah, I think we can't really play around the Voracious Vampire particularly. Well, actually if we keep Armasaur, then we can. So let's swing with the Shapers of Nature. We'll play Armasaur, and then have the Raptor Hatchling as a good blocker. That was a sizable chunk for my opponent though. So let's see if we see that Legion Lieutenant come down now. If he does, he could potentially give it to the Voracious Vampire. We'll still block, I think that's fine. We get a 1/1 out of the deal. He gets a pretty good tempo boost, but again, I think we're mostly trying to keep our life total happy here. Another Voracious Vampire. Alright. So I imagine that goes to... well, I don't know. Could just go to the Voracious Vampire, I guess. Although then I feel like you just play the Legion Lieutenant. I guess maybe he's just trying to make mana efficient plays since he's kind of tight on land. Okay, yeah, just going to the Voracious Vampire, I guess. Fine by me. I will definitely trade. Don't want to take too much damage. And as the game goes longer, the Shapers of Nature gets more and more valuable as well. It is a little bit unfortunate that he doesn't have to pop the Raptor Hatchling, but at worst comes to worst, this still helps us with double blocks for all the menace creatures out there. Another green. Did we keep swinging with Shapers of Nature? I guess so. We swing with Shapers of Nature, then next turn we can put a +1/+1 counter on something and Aggressive Urge if he plays, or taps out for another Vampire and tries to get in. And if he wants to double block, we can get a pretty nice blowout here too. I don't imagine he will, but Shapers of Nature is a threat. Alright, let's just pass the turn. Alright, there's that Legion's Lieutenant we've come to fear. And he gets to make his Voracious Vampire big. But we will pump up one of these guys and use Aggressive Urge. And we're not unhappy about that, too. What if he wants to swing at the Forerunner? Did not. So is there anything for 2 mana that really blows us out? He could have the -2/-2, or he could have a combat trick, but I think we still go for it. Or he'll still kill the Raptor Hatchling, worst comes to worst. He's gonna let us block, so he's not just going for the throat. And I guess we're gonna put it on the Saproling, although it doesn't matter if he's got a removal spell. We're gonna be a turn off anyway. Let's grow our creature first, because if he wants to interrupt us and get rid of this card in response, we don't draw, then we can still put the counter somewhere more valuable. Counter on the Saproling, or should we want it on the Raptor Hatchling, actually? Actually, probably one on the Raptor Hatchling, because that will persist over time. Yeah, that's better, especially because he didn't kill in response. Okay, it does have Moment of Triumph. So that's a pretty good tempo play for him. Let's see if he kills the Hatchling or not. Does. Okay, so we have a 3/3 though. Ooh, Herd Color is good too. I think we still just hunt the weak though. The Legion's Lieutenant's awfully scary. I think we swing with the Dinosaur first. If he wants to trade, I'm okay. And then we can hunt the weak over there. Otherwise, or I guess maybe we hunt the weak now if he wants to trade. Or do we want to trade at that point? Or rather have a 4/4? Probably rather have a 4/4. Don't have quite enough mana to just swing with the Shapers of Nature and be like, sorry. Yeah, let's swing with our Dino. This also has the upside that if he has like Skullduggery or something, he might try and blow us out now rather than when we play the Hunt the Weak in a couple turns. Or I guess in a couple seconds. I think the Legion Lieutenant is too dangerous to be left alive, though. So you can swing in with the Voracious Vampire, maybe even the Forerunner, but if he does do that, then he's starting to look like he's in a dangerous spot. Because he's at 10 too, like, my opponent's not just rolling in life. Dusk Legion Lieutenant's pretty good there, though. Gets a trigger for his Voracious Vampire, and gets a draw card. Is also a not unreasonable chump blocker. Order of Dusk. Alright, so we'll go down to 12 here. I think he's actually being a little bit too conservative with his Forerunner. I think if I was my opponent, I'd probably rather or be happy trading that with Shapers, in which case, I guess if he had identified that was the case for me, he could start swinging with it, just give one of the counters there, and I wouldn't block. So do we just want to go aggressive at this point? Atali's good, but kind of slow. We could swing with everything here and potentially trade for a lot. My opponent's down to 2 cards. I don't think it's likely he can kill us. And if we have any combat trick, my opponent's got to be kind of afraid here. I think, yeah, let's just swing. With the full understanding that we could be trading off the Shapers of Nature, and that's okay. It's going to be a 2-for-1 kind, no matter how you look at it, though. I think my opponent's got to be pretty afraid to be going to 2 here. Okay, yeah, just blocking all around. So let's kill these 2. Don't really want to give him a free lifelinker, even though the 2 power is relevant. And I guess we could pump and get in for kill them all. We pump it, he gets a 1 toughness, or a 1/1. How much do we need to worry about value, and how much do we need to worry about tempo? One's going down to 5. I think the tempo might be important than the value. Especially if we play like Atali this next turn. Yeah, I think we're just going to allow that. We'll play Atali. He has to have removal for it. We can go down to 8 in that case, but if he doesn't have removal, he's still taking a chunk from the Dinosaur. Yeah. I think that was a pretty okay trade for the Shapers of Nature. This card did some serious work this game. Having that Woodland Stream turn 1 was very, very nice. Kind of the perfect thing for it. Mark of the Vampire is good, though. Yeah, that's an example of a way we could lose this game. One gets in for 4, we go down to 8. And then we'll swing. Swift Warden. And Jungleborn Pioneer, I guess we can play both, so we're probably going to play both. Let's go ahead and crack with both, though, and see if we can't get some free stuff off of Tali. We always get to play our crazy cool bombs, I feel like, in the last match. Never before, but always in the last one. Yeah, we'll play that for sure. The Bishop Soldier is mine. And he really does have to jump block it here. Opponent gets a 1-1 with lifelink, but I don't think that's super significant. And we're just going to flood the board here. We will play our Jungleborn Pioneer and then have Swift Warden as well. I think my opponent's going to have a tough time crashing through. Correctly cracking his Evolving Wilds, though. Improving his next draw ever so slightly. And who knows, maybe he's got two spells he needs the mana for as well. Vampire Revenant. Okay, that's a good card. Is swinging with the Voracious Vampire. Play our Swift Warden. And we'll give our Jungleborn Pioneer hexproof unless he kills it in response. And then we'll go to blocks. We could do something like that. He's got a pump spell, we get pretty blown out. I think we just kind of toss everything in front of here. That way, even if he kills something, it's not that big of a deal. It gives him a little bit more value because he can trade for 2 creatures instead of just for 1, but I don't particularly. I think the way we lose that game is if it survives there, so. Strength of the pack. Does that just win it for us? Opponent goes like block, block. I guess he would only go down to 8. No, the trample should be enough though. Yeah, let's play Strength of the Pack. I think that will finish the job. Yeah, okay. Even had the arterial flow. Okay, I think we played that game fairly well. Forerunner is pretty good. My opponent does look like he's got some good beef in the deck. Do we need to lower the curve again? I don't think he's going to be as beat down, like as aggressive as the Merfolk deck was. But maybe we still lose if we just have a few too many high drops. Maybe we could cut like the... Armorsword's just not been all that impressive to me, honestly. Although it might be better than Horncrest in this matchup. Since we're probably more likely to be blocking. And less likely to be trying to race. Did see one target for Naturalize. A pretty good target, too. Didn't see any flyers, entertainingly. I think we're going to bring another... Well, actually maybe another Thrasher Raptors. So we'll lower the curve ever so slightly. Ooh, well, pretty we got a mulligan this one here. No lands definitely doesn't make for your best plays. This hand is pretty good, though. I think we're going to put that on bottom. I think we're going to hope to find some more action, and we have a good number of lands already. Crashing Brontodon is a great draw. We obviously do need to hit a couple more lands eventually for the Tuscadon, but in the meantime, finding things like Thrashing Brontodon is just much more effective. This guy has nice insurance against Mark of the Vampire as well. Okay, Atali is not the best draw, just because we're so far off of casting it, but I think we'll play Thrashing Brontodon. It's obviously a little bit worse if it gets killed, but it is higher value. Maybe it's worth saving. It swings about as effectively as the Ravenous Daggertooth, and I think we are in the mode of swinging here. Territorial Hammerskull makes it hard to block. If we trade this off for like a reasonable creature, I'm not unhappy with that. I guess if he plays the Martyr of the Dawn, or whatever that card is, it looks kind of bad against that. But pretty much anything else I'm okay trading with. Rest in peace, sweet Ravenous Daggertooth. Vampire Revenant. Well, I guess if we play the Thrashing Brontodon, we could have Hunt the Weak here, which is obviously quite a bit better. Alright. So, are we in the position where we can be trading, or racing? Territorial Hammerskull definitely makes it hard to block, and we're in kind of a bad spot if we play like the Thrasher Raptors, he kills it and swings again. I think we are going to swing here. I don't think there's any way my opponent blocks. Then we'll play Thrash. If we find a red source, though, charging Tuscadon is just such a beating in a race. Like, your opponent just cannot ignore 8 damage to the face, which means they usually have to leave some creatures back to block. Just the threat of the Tuscadon is very, very serious. Ooh, well, see, there's contract killing. Which makes me happy we swung, I suppose. Well, we can just play another one. We're not necessarily in a sustainable position with that. Wonder if we leave it back now. He's less likely to have another removal spell. But if he does, it's still kind of bad for us. So what's our likely play next turn? Our likely play next turn is we hunt the weak. And try and kill off the Revenant. Still don't necessarily hate swinging. Again, that just makes like Thrasher Raptors and charging Tuscadon more intimidating for my opponent. And 3 damage a turn is not irrelevant. Let's play this guy. And pass. It's funny. I guess this is always the case. I was like, I kind of want my opponent to tap out, but I also don't really want him to play anything good. Alright. Gracious Vampires, not a bad one. And we take 6 down to 7 here. We crash back for 8. Get my opponent to 6. I assume both these guys are getting in. I think we will play Hunt the Weak into open mana. If he has like the +2/+2, it's good for him, but not absurd once again. I just don't think we're really in the position that we can try and block between all the Menace and the Territorial Hammerskull. It's just not a good time. We could play Charging Tuscadon, leave everything back this turn. We would take at least 3. If he has a kill spell, he kills that. He doesn't have great attacks, but what if he finds like, no, even then, that might even be better. Because we could Hunt the Weak just right now. We kill that off. So we get in for 5, we get in for 8. Take my opponent down to 6. We kill the Revenant. He's got 4 cracking back. Means he probably has to keep stuff back to block the Thrasher Raptors. But I think playing the Tuscadon now actually is maybe a little bit better. And then just trying to set a position where the Tuscadon can win us the game next turn. This is a little bit better if my opponent's got another removal spell. Doesn't just run the Hunt of the Weak into something. I think we're going to keep everybody back. We go down to 4 from the Revenant, pretty much regardless. He swings with other stuff, it's bad for us. Okay. Opponent considers for a moment, and what's he crashing with? Not coming in with the Voracious Vampire, but is coming in with the Hammerskull. How odd. I don't think it changes, I think we need to block here. He's got like a pump spell or something that's not terrible. How odd. I feel like if you're coming in with the Hammerskull, you would come in with the Vampire. Okay, we even get to gain a couple of life here. Seems good. Oh, recover. Okay, that's the reason. Yeah, that's pretty good then. Gets him some good value. He didn't have a target for it before. Okay, yeah, I can see making the recover play then. So this next turn, though, we get to go pretty aggressive. 400 of the Legion. That's actually worrisome, because then he can go get his +1/+1, and then these two are lethal together. On the other hand, we can force a chump block. How good is that? Because we can use Hunt the Weak with the... Yeah, he's just getting Legion Lieutenant. Okay. So we can Hunt the Weak on the Charging Tuscadon. That means we've got 15 points, which means he has to block with something, so we kill 2 things. Let's see. We have to kill either the Revenant or the Voracious Raptor, and we might still be dead then. Kill the Revenant, this guy comes down, removes... Yeah, I think we're still in trouble, because he could just like chump block there, but then those 2 are lethal. He chump blocks there. It's not quite lethal. It's swing for 13, it's just not quite enough. Well, let's play for it, and what's most likely to make my opponent make a mistake? Hammer Skull gets pumped. So this is just a 2 damage thing. So this actually matters quite a bit less. We need him to trade away 2 out of 3 of these cards. We could kill the Revenant, let him block with both of those. Yeah, that might actually be best. We'll play one more land, try and look suspicious that we've got like the +1/+1 aggressive urge or something. Kill that guy. Swing for 15. I'll probably just block with the Hammer Skull. I don't really see another argument. Yeah. Forerunner of the Legion was pretty good there with the Legion Lieutenant backup. Maybe we should have Hunt the Weak a turn earlier. Yeah, that's the correct block, because that survives him through aggressive urge. I guess if we had the Sure Strike, that would be a heck of a blowout. Come on, yes, block there, block there, block there. That gives us at least one more turn. We have put my opponent into like a scary position. You don't want to just lose the game here. The fact that we killed the Revenant though may clue him into the fact that we don't think we can win this turn. And that's true, maybe we should have gone after like Forerunner then. Ugh, that's hard. The mind games back and forth. Okay, so my opponent's gonna go down to 3, and actually we are not just dead. We don't have anything, but maybe we can draw something. The game is not over with that block. So let's see. If he plays the Legion Lieutenant and swings with both the other cards and has nothing else, we win, if we have any Dinosaur. So he's got to be aware of that. If he swings with just one... Ooh, another recover. Are we dead then? He has another land, I guess we are? No. Still not cool. No, yeah, then we are dead. Legion's Lieutenant. Swings us down to 1. That's pretty dangerous. I think I would just swing with Voracious Vampire. So we know he's got his Forerunner of the Legion in hand, and then one other unknown card. He's got like the +2/+2 combat trick we lose. I feel like my opponent wouldn't make that attack unless there was something else. But we still have a chance of winning here. Martyr of Dusk. Jungleborn Pioneer. I think we are out of this. We can put in 4 creatures on the battlefield. We can't block everything. We swing. It encourages a double block. We're still dead. Yeah, okay. Well, I think we gave my opponent a good run for her there at the end. We maybe could have had better, like, maybe I should have used the Hunt the Weak before the Tuscannon. On the other hand, my opponent playing the Forerunner of the Legion was pretty brutal too. Let's see, what changes? I think I want maybe a Plummet. We just need removal, especially for flyers. Stampeding Horncrest actually would have been better there than the Armasaur. My opponent did show a couple more Menace and like the Hammer Skull, so maybe we are more in a racing situation than I had given us credit for. One more cut. I do like our Thrasher Raptors everywhere. I don't know, maybe Plummet's not good. I think I could see this just sitting in our hand and rotting a lot of the time. Okay, well, match 3, game 3, and we get to be on the play. With a pretty good hand. We've got Tianali's Knight into Swiftwarden into Thrash, probably. Good and keep. We do need to find land, but we have a good start here. Raptor Hatchling, obviously solid. Depending on what my opponent plays, I could even see that being correct over Swiftwarden, but probably not. Just the opportunity to snipe something for free with Swiftwarden's pretty good. Okay, well, in that case, I think we are going to play the Raptor Hatchling. The Swiftwarden's just not very good at blocking the Vanguard, and the Raptor Hatchling is very good at blocking the Vanguard. And Celestica is in for an extra point of damage. If he swings with the Vanguard, he takes an extra 4 points of damage and gives us a 3/3. That's pretty awkward. That might encourage removal on the Hatchling if he's got it. Black-White is better at getting rid of Raptor Hatchling than a lot of colors, but if he does use removal, we're still trading 3 for 3 every turn. Well, if we don't find a land, I guess we're trading 2 for 3. But my opponent doesn't know we don't have any more lands in hand, too. Nice. So let's go ahead and swing with our Tianelli's Knight, and we'll follow it up with the Thrasher Raptors. What a difference it makes being on the play versus on the draw. This game would be looking completely different if my opponent had the start. Ooh, double blocking. I am super okay with that. Trading our territorial, or our Tianelli's Knight from my opponent's territorial Hammer Skull is something I'm very up to doing. Yeah, I wouldn't think that would be a great block for my opponent. Obviously, he's worried about us just getting too far ahead in the race, but especially because Oldmanpoole Vanguard gets so much worse if you're behind. But I still think I would be loath to trade the Hammer Skull there, especially into open mana. If we got like a combat trick or something, he just loses. So we are kind of down to one card in hand. We can't play the Fire Can Blast, we can't play a Tali without finding more mountains. But we do have a pretty commanding board state, and Swift Warden's not a bad card to be the last card in hand either. Woodland Stream isn't terrible. Again, we do want to find more red, though. Let's go ahead and swing with these two folks. I wish they were merfolk, but Swift Warden's good. It is just obviously much, much better if you do have merfolk to give the advantage to. I think you probably have to block here, although you have mana up at this point. Okay. I imagine that means he's got a combat trick. Still goes to 9, though. I guess it goes to 11, then. Fine by me. Our Woodland Stream, and we'll pass. Now, depending on my opponent's hand, he may be encouraged to attack here, in which case Swift Warden will just be an absolute blowout. Contract killing? Yeah, I think he's going to attack then, which is great. Legion's Lieutenant. Alright. If I'm staying in my opponent's chair, I'm thinking, okay, I'm pretty okay now. But things get much sadder looking right now. We'll play our 3/3 Flash Hexproof, snipe a free creature, and go down to 16, but ooh, Stampeding Horncrest is a really good draw too. Yeah, that was one of the best we could have had. I'll crash my opponent down to 4 here, which means that he can't regenerate the Oldmanpoole Vanguard anymore. And we still have Raptor Hatchling as a good blocker as well. We find another mountain. Again, we're still in we have 2 very good cards in hand as well. I think we'll probably be able to take this. Yeah, I don't think you can attack there. Well, another forest is unexciting. I don't think it changes anything. If he's got a trick, he's got a trick, but we're going to swing with both of these guys. We want to swing with their hatchling? Maybe we do. Yeah. It's 1 more point of damage, which might be relevant. Right Reprisal. Okay, that's a good card. He double blocks, he's going to be in for a surprise, since 1 damage will persist on the Vanguard. Cool. So let's kill off the Legion Lieutenant. Deal 1 to each. Kill both. And, I mean, my opponent's at 3. Opponent has 2 cards in hand, we have 2 cards in hand that we can't play. Yeah, we could still lose from this point, like, we are not a shoo-in, certainly. Wonder if we should have swung with Raptor Hatchling 2 turns ago. May have been correct. Recover. Alright. Those recovers are pretty good. If the game goes grindy, which it certainly has. Martyr of Dusk. Huh, that's kind of funny. Do we want to just strengthen the pack? No, not really. Then my opponent just gets to block with the Martyr of Dusk, and that doesn't feel all that good. But I think we will swing with the Raptor Hatchling, make a 3/3. Then we could maybe strengthen the packet? probably doesn't have another removal spell in hand. A 5/5's pretty big. Or should we wait and try and get more value off of this? Do we have to try and be aggressive here? I don't think so. That's true. Even if we find a couple more creatures, Strength of the Pack becomes much more valuable. Not going to block the Mar of Dusk, we'll just take it here and go down to 13. Looming Altasaur. Okay, that stops the aggressive. Okay, Thrasher Raptors is good here. Yeah, just creatures or mountains are kind of what we're hoping for. Strength of the Pack actually does make the Thrasher Raptors big enough that it kills the Altasaur too. Not completely irrelevant. And if we ever get to revolve Atali, I think we're still in a good spot. Okay, we do need to kill the Shining Aerosaur though. Nice. So we can swing with both of these, shoot that, but I think I'm just going to play Atali. We can afford to take another 3 points in the air. And then next turn we either have Strength of the Pack to make everything huge, or Fire Can Blast. Plus whatever Atali finds us. Assuming he doesn't have like another contract killing or something, but he's been close to top decking. Vampire Revenant. Okay, well, a couple of flyers. We are taking some damage. I think you'd be foolish not to attack with at least the Aerosaur here. Really wants to take care of Atali, I guess. Okay, well, let's play Strength of the Pack. We'll swing pretty much all out. Put my opponent in kind of an awkward spot. Get some free draws off Atali as well. I guess we'll swing with those two. This Dinosaur just gets blocked by the Looming Altasaur pretty well. This also encourages my opponent not to play anything. Nice. Love to cast both of those cards. The 5/5 Dinosaur makes it harder for him to attack in on the ground next turn as well. So he has to put at least 4 toughness in front of the Thrasher Raptors. It looks like he's going to kill the Atali. He's trading kind of his whole board then, though. We've got a lot of creatures, thanks to a very good Atali hit. Putting 2 creatures onto the battlefield, even kind of small ones, is just fantastic. Okay, I'm pretty okay with that. Even if he's got a combat trick, we don't get truly blown out. I think we're actually going to put the flyer first. We just want to make sure we absolutely get rid of these guys. Oh, that's right, I always forget that it's one or the other. There, and then here. Feels like you should be able to interact with both of those at the same time, but Magic Online does not want to work that way. Okay, looks like we gotta kill everything. Opponent gets a 1/1 with lifelink, but he doesn't have any good attackers anymore. We have, Ixalan's Keeper with a Dinosaur. Yeah, alright. Okay, well, that last match was pretty fun. Actually, I guess the second match was pretty good too. Our first match with my opponent really just throwing in the towel immediately was kind of awkward, but the deck was cool. We got to see the power of Atali a couple of times. This just gives you a crazy amount of card advantage. The game ended pretty shortly thereafter playing it both times, which is what you want to see from your bomb rare. I think Strength of the Pack held its own as well. Yeah, I think I was pretty impressed with just about everything in the deck. We were, obviously kind of weak to the Merfolk deck, and his deck seemed pretty good in general. It might just be that kind of a red-green mid-range deck has a tough time dealing with that. Forerunner of the Empire, which we actually didn't see over any of the 3 matches, would have been pretty good against all the 1 toughness creatures there, but you're not going to draw that every time, too. I think the deck was cool. You guys have to let me know in the comments if you saw anything that I thought I could have played better, or if I should have definitely taken out the Shapers of Natures in the second match, things like that. But I love to hear from you guys. Definitely comment if you've got anything you want to share. If not, or if so, I guess. Thanks for watching. I really do appreciate you guys, and I will see you guys next time.